I don't know where to start tonight, to be honest. It was bits of frustration intermingled with bits of good soccer. Bits of bad habits, and times when we actually could have finished the game off. And if I'm going over all the 90 minutes, I think, I kind of like to be honest dealing with our performances. I think we're probably a wee bit fortunate to come away with the win tonight. I think we created enough chances to win the game, but I think we also did enough things poorly that could have lost us the game. So it was a mixed performance for me, and I think our players feel that as well. We could have been better. I think we started well and then we kind of went to sleep. Then we came back a little bit and then went to sleep again. Second half we kind of had to tough it out, had a couple of chances, they had a couple of chances, and we were fortunate that we got the win. And I think we probably won the game because we've just got some real good quality players, and that got us over the edge tonight. Yeah, I mean, she immediately gives the team a boost, but the thing that she does really well is she really makes bad decisions. And that's the difference. I thought for times during the game, and the players, a couple have already spoken to me, we just made some really poor decisions or poor execution. Whereas Marta, as well as adding a spark, she makes good decisions, so that then gets a flow of our team moving much better, and then things start to happen and people start to make runs and we start to open up teams, and that's the difference that she made tonight. I think she's just kind of getting back into her stride of full match fitness. She came back last year after the little one, and it just takes a little bit of time. It takes time to come back and get back to sort of where you were before. And also coming into a new team, sometimes it takes a little bit longer to get into the rhythm with the other players, the situation with other players, sort of reading each other. So now she's much more comfortable, much more familiar with the players, and we're beginning to see the attributes that we know she has. It wasn't so much the rebound. I mean, the frustrating thing was getting a goal from a throw-in. That was the thing that almost drove me over the edge. It's one of our mainstays that we talk about: reinforce, show, go over, and then we go brain dead and give a goal away. The rebounds are always something that's going to happen. What we did is that we kept giving the ball away in very bad areas and left ourselves unbelievably exposed. So if you leave yourself unbelievably exposed and shots come in and goal, they've got players running in on the end of the shot, so it's pot luck where that ball's going to end up. So it's not so much the rebound, it's more the play before that created the rebound, and that was some of the things that we did poorly in the first half. It looked like all over the place. So the rebounds were an effect of that poor play before the rebounds. Does that make sense? Yeah. Well, that's the plan. Sometimes the plan doesn't come to fruition, and I think, as I said, particularly in the first half, we ended up doing things that were uncharacteristic for what we don't normally do. And I think you have to give credit to Sky Blue. They did their homework and they sat back and they played a 4-4-2, and they know that we try and pass the ball, and they tried to hit us on the counter-attack and did it very effectively because of how we played. And it's kind of like we just need to stop doing poor things. There's two things we need to do better. Stop doing poor things that we did today, whether that was picking a wrong pass, whether it was the execution of the pass, whether it was taking too long to play the pass. So we need to do better in that regard. And we also need to do better in getting the ball and moving it forward. We move the ball backwards more than any other team in this league. Sometimes I think we're a rugby team. You have to pass it backwards in rugby. You can't pass it forward. Just for those people who are not familiar again. So we need to add a little bit more of that to our game. And I think if and when we do that, we'll be a real formidable team. Wonders of social media. No, here's the situation with Camila. Now, I had a meeting with her yesterday. Camila got cleared to play at the beginning of this week, okay? Which means, and this is where maybe a breakdown in communication. So in Camila's eyes, that means that she's ready to go out and play. What it actually means is she's cleared to play. She hasn't played in 9 months. She's done 5 days of full training. Even if you're a superstar, and she's a superstar, even you do not come back and play after 5 days of full training after being out for 9 months. So that's what I had to kind of communicate to Camila yesterday. And she got that, but she's a young player and she's, you know, frustrated and thinks, well, I'm clear to play, now I'm ready to play. So it's two, does that make sense? It's two kind of different things. The second thing that impacted our decision was the fact that Marta wasn't 100% fit. So Marta could only play for 20, 25 minutes maximum tonight. So it would have been foolish of me to have 2 players on the bench who weren't 100% fit. And Camila was always only going to go into the game, if we put her on the bench, if we were something like 3-0 up with 10 minutes to go. We were never, she's not ready to play yet, but she is clear to play. Does that make sense? Oh yeah, Alanna came up at the end of the game and apologised to me. She said, I'm really sorry. She said, I was terrible in that first half and I hate to disappoint you and the team. They're aware. I mean, they understand the game, they know how to play the game, and sometimes, I mean, it's not an exact science. Sometimes players have bad days, and you know, in the first half of the game, things just didn't go right for us in there, and rectified it a little bit in the second half. Very, very good question. A couple of things. One is not to get as stretched as we were tonight. The second thing is not to give the ball away in central dangerous areas. So it's really the key to not giving things away in a counter-attack is to actually be defending while you're attacking, if that makes sense. So while you're building up a move or whatever you're doing, we should be switched on enough to defend and sense danger if the ball's turned over. So what we didn't do tonight is, particularly in the first half, we didn't do that well, because with one full-back that was away up there, with another full-back that was away up there, with 2 centre-backs that were away out here, and that's all okay unless you give the ball away. And tonight we were actually very good at giving the ball away.
So transitioning error?
So it was transitioning due to 2 things. One, poor positional play from players when we had the ball, and secondly, poor execution of passes that gave the ball away in really dangerous areas. And thirdly tonight is that their plan was to do that. You know, they came with a plan to sit back, try and steal the ball and hit us in the counter-attack. So you put all those factors together, it makes for a long night on the bench. That's the word, isn't it? You took the word out, you stole my word. Energy, that's the word. She comes on and she injects energy, she injects pace, she injects enthusiasm, she injects forward runs, and that's changing games. And that's the stuff, when I go back to the first half, that's stuff that we didn't do well enough. So, and that's what she does really well, and she plays a great, you know, this is where, particularly in the modern game, you know, whether we start Rachel, whether she comes on, she really impacts stuff because of those factors.